Alright, so it's been requested for quite some time that I update the Holy Relic tier list with all the Archangel relics that were released. And now also slime characters got all the relics, so I'm bundling them all together and gonna, update the list. I have tried all the Archangel Holy Relics. The only Holy Relic in here, which I'll already give you the fair warning that I will be not perhaps giving the most fair ranking, is Blue Rimuru's, because I have not seen anyone use this relic, and I can't get this relic for the next week or so. But just reading what the effect does gives me an idea of how good it is. So I think I can still rank it, but I will give you the fair warning that it might be the only relic here that I don't have hands-on experience with, and it might not be the best ranking I can give. But all the other ones, I'm pretty confident on my rankings. I went through with chat, and we are mostly in agreement, or honestly, 100% in agreement of all the rankings. So I'm going to go from left to right here. And off the bat, Ludo's relic was honestly a gift to this character that really needed it, and I think I want to put all the way above, because without his relic he is honestly an unrunnable character, and with his relic he is a fun crit build that honestly actually works now. It's like, it's a very YouTuber thing to use Ludo, because yeah, I can pop out busted damage, but if you have invested on Ludo back in the day when he came out, and then you couldn't use Ludo for the longest time because Lamau, he's trash, the relic just revived him and you can use him again. So, I think Ludo's relic was actually one of the best relics ever. Even though it's boring, it's just stats. It doesn't matter. It works. So, Rimuru, I think it's a cop-out to rank relics for characters that release with the relic, because it's like the relic was made for them specifically. But I also think it should be up here. I haven't even used Rimuru without his relic, to be honest, because the character was made for the relic. When you log in the game on the slime collab, you instantly get a relic on your box, and you just apply it to whatever character you want. And Rimuru has just a fantastic relic. It just gives him pierce. For the ones that don't know, it just gives him 80% pierce, but his whole kit is pierce. This card hits stupid, and then he gives himself more and more pierce, and with the extra pierce his other card hits harder as well. I mean, his relic is just very, very good. Millim's is also a very, very good relic. I do want to say that without this relic, I think she wouldn't be as powerful as she looked on like showcases and stuff, giving her the extra crit chance and crit damage. I don't want to put her above here. I don't know why, but I think that it's more fair to put her here. I think for PvP, Millim is a very I want to say niche character to use. If you don't use her in like a crit build, even with her relic, she isn't really, that good. And if you face Rimuru, he destroys your relic because he removes your buffs every turn, and Rimuru is like so common right now. But for PvE, I think she might just be my favorite character, my favorite blue character to run on Deer above the one. It's just, she's so good for Deer, and she's really good for Bird. And honestly, any PvE activity that you use her on, her relic giving her the extra crit chance and crit damage, she's going to be hitting super hard like a truck every single activity, basically. So I want to give her up here. Red Tarmiel, I was actually thinking of giving him all the way up here, but we're ranking the actual like effect of the relic, right? Not the character. I think the actual effect of the relic should be up here, because it just gives him Droll's relic, or sorry, Droll's passive, right? Now, let me check if Grandcast Database already has updated here. Yeah, it just gives him Droll's passive, which when the enemy gets 5 ultimate gauge, it gets ult sealed for 2 turns. The actual effect is very busted on him, because whatever team you're going to use Tarmiel, you're probably not going to be running a character that takes off ultimate gauge. So just having that as a form of ult negation is really, really powerful. But honestly, Tarmiel is more of a Link than a unit. So I don't think I should put him all the way above to the god of relics. But the effect was very well done. I think, again, for whatever team you're going to be using Tarmiel will likely be a team that would actually be in need of this ult control otherwise. So Shuna, I also have not used this relic because I can't. But the relic I've seen a lot in play. I faced multiple Shunas, and I did watch videos using the Shuna relic, and the effect is very, very powerful in combination with Rimuru, giving him the extra pierce on top of his relic pierce and his passive pierce, giving him the extra pierce, and also the cleanse, which can very much come in handy with, like, you know, ult lowering, attack lower, whatever. Just cleansing can be very powerful. I think her relic should also go up here. And again, also being a very, very, very cheap relic, if you use her in the right situation with her cleanse and with the pierce increase, she needs Rimuru. I feel like she was made to be run with Rimuru. I think it's worthy. Either I would put her here or here. It could go like either way, but it's such a cheap relic. And for what it does, it works so well. And it can save you matches. It really can. It can definitely save you matches just having that cleanse, which hasn't been something that people have been using PvP a lot. If you use like Margaret, for example. Margaret is the only cleanse character in the game right now. Really, like realistically. You can still get sealed by like Green Galfer and stuff, but like really there's no good team in the game that seals heal cards. I cannot think of any actual good team in the game that seals heal cards. None. So her heal card cleansing is very powerful. Now, Margaret's relic. I was just talking to chat about how I don't know if I want to put her in Y even or okay. Because her relic is honestly laughable. She gets the Grand Cross database doesn't even have updated the relic into the character because I guess they didn't even bother. Her relic gives her 5% damage increase or damage reduction, or I guess both, damage increase and damage reduction per Archangel ally, herself not included on the way it's worded. So if you run her with 2 other Archangels, she gets 10% damage increase and 10% damage decrease. That's actually pretty decent, you know? It's not the best effect. Damage increase and damage decrease are very wonky, especially when it comes to like such a low number like 10%. But it's so specific. If you don't run Archangels, the relic just doesn't work. Like, if you... Honestly, Margaret's best team is not even Archangels. Margaret's best team is Trader Melly, DN, and Margaret. That's the best team for Margaret, because then you just actually use her for cleanse. Or maybe you use Shuna for cleanse at that point. But you actually just use Margaret for the cleanse and the damage increase for Trader Melly. That's it. And for that team, you don't even see an effect for her. So I am actually like in between these two. I will give her okay, only because I think with all the Archangel relics dropping, they might be dropping an Archangel coming soon that will be like making Archangels like the most busted team ever. And Archangels is a solid team right now with Red Tarmiel. Red Tarmiel, you know, if you use like a Red Tarmiel relic, Green Sariel relic, and you know, maybe they're dropping soon like Ellie Hawk relic that will give Archangels or just goddesses in general stat buffs. That could really help out the team. Similar to base Helbram gives stat buffs to fairies. That could really help out goddesses to really work. But the actual effect is just okay. It's just okay. Red Sariel. I think it's very fair that it's a very good relic. As a relic, I think he helps him out. He worked out very well in PvE. PvP, he's just too old. Like his relic, even with relic, he just cannot compete in PvP, unfortunately. But for PvE, he worked out really well. And if you have the extra 40% basic stats that you can accumulate with his relic, I think he can work out pretty well as a red character, just in general. Having 2 attack cards, he worked out very well for Deer. He didn't really work out very well for Bird, to be honest. I think Deer is his best place, really. But for general PvE activities, he's just really good having both AoE, like a very hard AoE hitting card, and a single target hitting card. He can be really good for both. So for both just random PvE and just like actual like demonic beast battles and stuff. So I think it's a fair placement here. Although I wouldn't really recommend if you already have better replacements for like Sariel in those teams and activities. Blue Tarmiel was hardly noticeable, and honestly, the actual effect of the relic is not going to be something that you're going to be like going for, really. I tried using him on both goddesses, and honestly, goddesses are better off with red Tarmiel in general. And if you're not going to use red Tarmiel, goddesses are just not very good. Green Rimuru shits on goddesses, absolutely shits on goddesses, and there's not much you can do about it. And Trader Melly shits on goddesses. It's just goddesses get shit on unless you use red Tarmiel. At that point, you can actually compete, and then you're not using blue Tarmiel. You know, it'd be like that. And then on a counter-based team, which would be what the relic is really going for, giving you counter damage, again, it just really doesn't work really well. The damage increase is just not very noticeable, and damage decrease and damage increase is, again, really hard to notice a lot of times, and the teams in general just aren't very good anymore. The meta has just evolved too much that when people see counter characters, all they have to do is move cards, and they get an ultimate. Wow. And everyone's running taunt now. Like, everyone's running taunt. So you use a counter card, right? Let's say you use Green Sariel, use a counter card, and the enemy just move cards 3 times, get an ultimate, and then they at the same time also put a taunt, so you can't even take off the ultimate gauge, and then you lose. It's basically all the matches when you use counter characters at this point. When you're focusing on using counter characters, right? If you have a team that is just like Terry, right? Is a counter character, then you're probably not using Tarmiel, right? If you're using Green Sariel, which is a counter character, you're probably not using Tarmiel, you're using this Tarmiel. I don't know. It's not that good of a relic. It's very niche. You could make it work, I guess, but I wouldn't give it more than okay. Red Benimaru. Although I have my complaints about Benimaru not being very consistent, the actual relic is very good, giving him just a flat heal of 25% of his max HP, not damage dealt, his max HP. I think is actually pretty good, and just increasing his attack related stats when attacking. It's basically Green Merlin's relic. The one issue I see is that even though with the relic, he gets, you know, up to like a 110% crit chance, he needs to crit, but he's just so inconsistent. The unit itself is so inconsistent. Having this card is honestly what drags him down as a unit. This card should have been updated, should do something other than just debuffing. It should do damage or do another debuff on top of the defense lore. Just using one of your precious turns in PvP to defense lore is just so bad. And then in PvE, the debuff doesn't even work. Like, most bosses in the game, this debuff doesn't work. So it's just a PvP card anyways. And for PvP, wasting a turn to lower your enemy's defense stats by 20% is just not very useful. And it doesn't even stack with Ludo CL, unfortunately. But yeah, so I will still give the relic a good rating though. The relic itself, I think, really helps him, because even though he's very inconsistent, with the relic he can overcome the inconsistencies a little bit better. And again, getting that crit chance and stuff, he can definitely be a very good unit in a lot of situations. Green Sariel, I actually really liked using Green Sariel relic. I think that it actually did help his counters by making him heal more and do a little bit more damage. I will also give him a very good rating. I think it's very good. I think it's a really good relic that could have been better if the attack buff that he does wasn't just when he was countering, because this only works when the enemy is attacking you, right? So it basically only works, the attack buff only works when he gets attacked. But I feel like if they gave him also a buff to his actual attack card, like if he just got 20% attack, in general, from the counters, from attacking, it could have been really nice. But, you know, his attack card already hits really hard. It could have hit harder. You know what I mean? The biggest issue for Sariel is his teams. Again, you're only really going to be using him on goddesses with Red Tarmiel and Margaret. So he's a little niche there. But the relic itself gave him like a good boost. I think he gave him like a good boost. And I think it's a good relic. Blue Rimuru, again, this is the one relic I think I shouldn't really be very concrete on my my rating here, or shouldn't really say that it's the definitive rating. But the way Rimuru's relic works, I thought he was going to be on top. Okay, well, the way Rimuru's relic works, the lower his HP, the more he gets an attack increase. But really, he's a defensive character. I think this relic should have given him defensive related stats. At that point, he would be a god, right? The lower his HP, the more defense related stats he gets, he would be tanky as hell. And he would just actually be immortal. But, you know, he's doing like no damage. This character does 0 damage. You do a rupture card on an enemy with buffs, and it does like 10k. Like, it's, okay, maybe not that, but there's like 25k or something. It's really bad. So he's like giving him a little more attack. Like realistically, for every 4% HP decrease, he gets 1% attack with his stats when using skill, right? Realistically, let's say you're very low. Like you lose 80% of your health. Then it's 20% attack. That's like that's what Benimaru gets when attacking a debuffed enemy, which is so much easier to have than having your character be 80% lowered, right? So I will give him an okay, only because it's so cheap. It's free. But he out of all the slime character relics, he is the one relic that I would say, if you don't have like Terry's relic, for whatever reason, or like Keel's relic. If you don't have Keel's relic, maybe because you played KOF when he first came out, but when he came back, you weren't playing the game, and you didn't give Keel his relic because you missed out on the event, you can use the materials from this relic to give Keel. I think so. It's stuff like that. But, you know, otherwise, it could have been better. So, that's the updated ranking. Let me know of your opinions in the comments. And that's about it. Say goodbye, chat. This will be the last time you ever see them. Not okay. That was a little too exaggerated. Never mind. I said that.